This is one of the smartest Toronto home purchases I've seen in a while. It sold for $25,000 over the asking price, and some people may look at this and be like, whoa, the market is heating up. I don't think that's what happened here. This is the kind of deal that I pay attention to, and it's not because of the price. It's because of what the buyer got compared to everything else that they could have bought. Let's look at what this house is. It is a four-bedroom home with four washrooms. We're looking at approximately 2,700 square feet, and it's on a quiet crescent. Listed at 1.299, sold for 1.325. So we have a pretty typical layout for this area. And this house on the facade, we're looking at a board and batten upper with a brick outer. We have an updated front door with side-by-side door brighteners. This is a very typical layout for a living room in this area. This one does have hardwood floors and crown moldings, and you can see that it does overlook the living room, but there is that separation wall. So it's not exactly open concept. Here's the dining room with hardwood floors, and it's big enough to add in a hutch or a buffet. We're looking at a modern kitchen here, not in terms of the updates, but in terms of functionality. There is a peninsula here with the sink in it, lots of cupboards, and you can see on the left side there is a big row of pantry cabinetry as well. Another angle on the kitchen here, you can see it's an eat-in kitchen with that nice breakfast area and a nice bright window as well. We're looking at the family room here with a double French door entry, hardwood floors, built-in bookcase, and my favorite thing in a house, a wood-burning fireplace. Looking at a good-sized primary bedroom, the ensuite for the primary bedroom has been updated. And as you can see here, all of the bedrooms in this house are a really good size. This is the finished portion of the basement. It's not completely done, but you can see here that they have finished it with pot lights. It is a drop ceiling, which is okay. And the windows are, I mean, they're bright because they are tall, but you can see that they're recessed below the ground, which is why you have the window wells. We're looking at the unfinished portion of the basement. They have another wood burning fireplace. Oh, it's just talking to me. But one thing I do want to point out, if you look up to the ceiling, I mean, this is just me nerding out, but you can see that it is plywood floors for the subfloor, and those are what you are looking for if you ever want to put down good laminate flooring or your hardwood floors. Ask anybody that's put hardwood flooring on top of particle board, and those are the people that are telling you that it's squeaky and they get the separation in the slats. Looking at a good sized fully fenced backyard with a on ground deck, and just summing it up with an aerial shot of the house. Let's get into why I think this was such a smart buy. And it is the right kind of dated, and I'm specifically talking about the kitchen. Yes, it is dated, but the cabinets are standard size, and it's not going to take a lot of money to upgrade those cabinets to something a little bit more modern. The layout is very functional in the kitchen. It has a breakfast area, and it doesn't need to be done immediately. You can use it the way it is. To me, I'm looking at a cosmetic upgrade in the kitchen, not a structural one. Next up is the expensive items in this home have already been handled for you. We're looking at windows that are less than 10 years old, a roof being noted as being approximately 12 years old. The exterior doors are already upgraded for you, and the bathrooms are updated. This is where most buyers end up losing money, is that they buy something that looks nice but needs major work. But these big ticket items, man, those go a long way in value. And further to the bathrooms, those being already updated, the ensuite and the main bathroom being already done, that's money and more importantly, the disruption that is already done and you don't have to go through. Next reason, the layout and the bones of this house. You have large principal rooms and bedrooms, two fireplaces. I mean, this is more personal for me, but two fireplaces. You can't get fireplaces in new builds anymore. The part that is unfinished in the basement is less than 1,000 square feet, and you can finish it off the way you like it. And as I mentioned before, the plywood subfloor, like I said, just ask anybody that's put an engineered flooring on top of particle board and just see how big those squeaks and gaps are in their floors. You don't have to fix this house. You're just finishing it off. And lastly, we are looking at a location advantage as well. This house is on a quiet crescent and not a cut through or a main arterial road into a subdivision. That matters more than most buyers realize, not having constant traffic going by the front of your house. Okay, there are drawbacks with this house. No home is perfect. This one in this area, if we're looking at 4 bedroom, 4 bathroom homes, it's typical to have a den on the main floor. This one does not have a den. Upstairs in the primary bedroom, there is no walk-in closet and there is no double sinks in the ensuite. Definite drawbacks for the area. The carpets in all the bedrooms are worn out. I mean, this house has been lived in. The backyard privacy, I would question. Not a lot of trees back there. The fence is going to need some repair. And the sidewalk in front, I mean, this is something that I look at just from personal experience. And I am approaching this as if I was bringing buyers here. And I would point out that the sidewalk being in front there, that is snow removal that you have to worry about. The city puts that liability on you. Plus, if you have guests over or you have a family household that has more than 2 cars, you're not able to park 4 cars in there. So sidewalks do come into play in a lot of times. And last but not least is the board and batten facade. It is an extra set of maintenance that you do have to worry about. None of these I look at and see as expensive problems, just something that I want to point out that you will have to update at some point, or you may not be able to update. So it is a drawback. Now that we've had a look at the house that the buyers did eventually buy, let's go back and just look at some of the houses that they could have bought in the neighborhood. Here is the first house that we are looking at as a comparable. It is just over a kilometer away and it sold for 1,250,000. And at first glance, I'm looking and I see some updated windows in the front. That is great. But I also see a roof that in the near future will need to be replaced and original exterior front door, which again will probably need to be updated at some point. First impression of the kitchen is that it is updated, and it is. I'm not going to take that away from it. But it's a smaller kitchen, and the stainless steel appliances, yes, they are stainless steel, but they are what I'm going to call entry level stainless steel appliances. I'm not going to call them cheap, I'll call them entry level stainless steel appliances. And if you look at the Eden area, you can see that that is the original sliding door to the exterior. And just speaking from experience, I know that is going to be something that needs replacing. All of the washrooms in this home will need to be updated at some point. The basement also has a wood burning fireplace, and yes, it is a fully finished basement, but this is a dated basement and it's going to cost a lot of money to bring it to a modern appearance, we'll say. So yes, this is a house that is done, but it still needs work. The next comparable we're looking at sold for 1,348,000. It's less than a kilometer away, and I'm kind of surprised that this one sold for more. It is on a busy arterial road. There's a lot of mismatched finishes going on in this house. The updates that were done were very personal in taste, and the windows definitely will need to be replaced. So this house did sell for more, but to me it looks like it had more problems that you can't automatically just paint over. They do need to be replaced. So that is going to cost money. Next up for our comparables, this one again was less than a kilometer away. This one sold higher as well for $1,375,000. This one had parquet floors, a much smaller kitchen. We're looking at dated finishes. And again, this is on a busier street. It's a feeder street into the crescents in the neighborhood. So yes, there was more money spent here in terms of buying the home, but there's also more compromise. All of these homes are very similar on paper. They all have 4 bedrooms, 4 washrooms. They're all roughly the same size in terms of square footage, all in the same neighborhood, and all of them had sidewalks in front. But the one that I thought is the smart buy was the one that needed the least amount of updates or repairs. So this is where most buyers get it wrong. And it's also where I spend most of my time just making sure that I help people get it right. So looking at this house and seeing that it did sell for over the asking price, is the market actually heating up? I don't think so. I think this is what happens when a house is priced properly and well positioned and just meets the buyer who just looks at it and actually understands the value. The best deals aren't always the cheapest. They're the ones where you don't have to fix somebody else's mistakes.